A legend of a game comes in the form of an animated series. When Arcane settled into Netflix, it immediately blew up. Now Season 2 is about to hit us with a bang, hopefully with a continuation of whatever happened to the Piltover's leaders. Let's get back on track first with Arcane, a major gaming surprise back in 2021. The new style of animation, plus the mix of 3D and 2D, was spectacular. And of course, the adoring characters we all know and love in League of Legends. Arcane stood out among all the other films when it was released. Their stories are being brought to life in these series, and the shocking revelation that Jinx, aka Powder, is the younger sister of Vi. The two being the most iconic characters in LOL. It was hinted in their voice lines, but the revelation was still so surprising that most fans reeled in shock and surprise. This all takes place in Piltover and Zaun, two cities that represent a utopia and the other dystopia. The Shining City and the Dark City, a good contrast. Arcane follows the story of Powder and Vi, two sisters who lost their parents by the rich and guarded Piltover of the above and are now being raised by their father figure Vander. The story starts in their childhood growing up in the streets of Zaun and soon making their way into the streets and roofs of Piltover. It introduces other characters such as Victor and Jayce, who are trying to create a way to use magic, which they did and called it Hextech. In Zaun, however, something called Shimmer is being brewed that can turn people into monsters. Arcane eventually tackles the class disparity between the two cities and the use of Hextech for war. The thing about Arcane is its focus on relationships. Relationships drive the story. The animation is separated into 3 episode acts. First act focusing on V's and Powder's childhood as denizens of Zaun and how their relationship starts to go downhill when Powder lets her emotions get the best of her and causes the death of their 2 friends and Vander. Second act goes on their adulthood and the progress of Hextech on Piltover, making it a central city people look forward to. And the third act showcasing everyone's decision to make right. For example, Jinx threw away her identity as Powder forever and became the destructive Jinx who launched a rocket at a council meeting deciding that Zaun should be an independent city. The lore and story of Arcane took over 6 years in production before being released in 2021. And definitely the time was all worth it because people went crazy all over it in the media. The love of their characters being brought to life in animation, like who wouldn't be excited about that? The 3 episode acts have been a great way to tell the tale of Piltover and Zaun, the setup, the confrontation, and the resolution. The way the story plays out was smooth, and that was its intention for the audience to have an easier time understanding. What's astonishing is that Riot Productions had already planned beforehand about Arcane, but did not say anything about it. I mean, look at their music videos on Jinx. It was an amazing hint on Arcane's production, and an outstanding hidden gem at that. Now, after the painful touches that Act 3 gave to us on its ending, Jinx chose to destroy Piltover and leave her only sister. Did Piltover get destroyed? What will happen to the characters? Is Victor gonna be okay? So many questions ran through the heads of the fans that they delved into the lores in League of Legends to get the littlest bit of spoiler for how Season 2 will play out. When Arcane Season 1 ended, Riot Games CEO Nicolo Lauren tweeted, "So yeah, we're working on #Arcane Season 2. The good news, you won't have to wait for 6 years, the time it took us to making Season 1. The bad news, it's not coming in 2022. Arcane production really has Season 2 under wraps though, as no spoilers have been leaking into the fandom. When will it hit Netflix? The most likely is in the spring of 2023 as the earliest possible window, or maybe within the year of 2023. We can only go over the tweet that has had fans buzzing. Theories on who'll enter the Season 2 scene are pretty much centered on the werewolf warrior Warwick and the clockwork maiden Oriana. Both are tied to another character, a mad scientist named Singed. The return of Vander as Warwick is what the fandom is gonna be about and on about for the release of Season 2. Another theory on how Season 2 will proceed, if it isn't a direct continuation to Season 1, would be on the Noxian invasion. The Solari-Lunari conflict, Luz and Garen's hunt for Silas, or the mercenary Sivir. Arcane would develop more into the LOL lore and explore other characters' lives that will bring Arcane into a bigger and wider bowl of what to look forward to. The president of Riot Entertainment, Shauna Spenley, tells LA Times, "You can't farm out hard. It has to be built properly. Players can tell. They're looking for elements they can identify with. I don't think you can build that easily with outside partners. I think that has to be built from within. At this point, we're trying to figure out how to create that as we step into live action and other stories. And just recently, on June 9th, Jayce's voice actor Kevin Alejandro gave his fans an update on Season 2. He says, "We would be on the edge of your seats as it's gonna be a pump full of adrenaline rush season." He tells BuzzFeed, "You're gonna be conflicted in such a way that I don't know if it's good or bad. Like, your emotions will be pulled out of you and you'll be like, oh my god, that's how you're gonna end Season 2. It's so good." Alejandro was good not to reveal anything else except the vague indication of what the fans will feel once Season 2 drops. So now us fans have no choice but to sit and wait for the release of Season 2, as it turns out Riot is really handhold into not revealing anything. I mean, it's the best way to keep us fans on our toes after all of the news on Season 2. Ella Purnell already hints they're making voice lines for Season 2, but did not spill any details. Ah, the excitement.
Picture Milo! Stop, Vander!
Now, what to expect for Season 2? Well, back in 2021, Arcane hit us with a teaser trailer on its production with Vi and Caitlyn's voices clear, and fans are convinced that Warwick's mechanical heartbeat can be heard. If Warwick ever appears in Season 2, there's still no hint on whoever will voice him. Now, if Season 2 goes into a direct continuation of Season 2, there are a lot of plot threads that need to be tied down. Silco is dead, so Zaun no longer has a leader with no clear person to who will take over. Jinx is way out of control to be the one and would rather be seen exploding whatever she wants to satisfy herself. Maybe it will be Vi who will take on the lead just like her father figure, Vander. Then whatever happened to the council when Jinx shot a rocket at them? Her act itself could start the impending war between Piltover and Zaun. Zaun will no longer be given a chance at independence, and will Vi finally give up on reuniting with her sister who's lost in insanity? There's so much to know, yet so little to find answers to. It's mind-gripping, and definitely a cause for heartbreaking excitement. With the explosive end, Jinx might bomb you to like and smash that subscribe button. Seriously, no kidding. We know that Vi will do anything and everything in her power to make sure Jinx's terrorist and destructive actions must be stopped for people to no longer be heard. Jinx will have to find new companions to go to with her father figure Silco dead. So hit that notification bell to keep us updated on the clock on how Arcane Season 2 is gonna look.